Alright, so today is March 13th, and earlier today I went to the home improvement store and picked up a few things. I picked up a piano hinge for the cover on this case, that'll go over here. And a couple of clasps, yeah, and those might have to be replaced with stainless steel at some point, but so be it. Here's my two power distribution panels, the DC and the AC. That will go in there. And I've also got a couple little gauges to go in up there. Voltage meters. Alright, and I just got the wire pulled through. You can see this yellow wire here. That's for my tank sending units, so I can read the water level in the tank there. I finally picked up some more wire for that today. So I got that wire run. And it's pulled up to the over there on the other side. Got my carpet. A couple squares of each kind of carpet put in here just to see how it wears and through time. This one's glued down, this one's self-adhesive. Actually, I think, like I said, I think I'll probably use those lock dots, those adhesive dots on this. Another thing, here's a screw I put in there. That's a stainless steel screw going through the hatch and into the sole framing underneath there. And I put one of those fancy finish washers on there. And once it's screwed down, you know, it's actually below the nap of the carpet. And I tried walking around on it with bare feet, and it was fine. So, and I plugged this thing in. Figured it might be a good idea to get it to let it run a little bit once in a while. So I plugged this in, and I got a kilowatt meter going here. See how much power it uses. And when it's running, when the compressor's running, it's drawing about 75 watts, which isn't bad. 0.82 amps. It's used 0.404 kilowatt hours in an hour. So we'll see how that does over time. Of course, it's a little hard to gauge that now. It's you know, it's 70 degrees in here. So room temperature anyway in here. I threw a 6-pack of soda in there. Figure I don't need to run it all the time, but if I run it once in a while and keep it cool enough to keep a drink at usable temperatures. Anyway, moving on. I got my framing done up here. This is for the chain locker. And again, like I said, I think I'm just going to put a 55-gallon barrel in here. I'll have to, of course, make some sort of retainer for it so it doesn't bounce around in here. And then just run a tap off the bottom of the tank and then out the side of the hull to drain. And that's about 18 inches above the water line. If I go as high as I can here, about 18 inches above the water line, which means, yes, it will occasionally, you know, sploosh some water back up in there. So I can do a couple things there. I could put a little flap on the outside to help keep waves from, you know, banging and spraying back up into the tank. Or I could put a valve on there and just open the valve when I want to drain this thing. You know, if you're going to rinse it out with fresh water, then you could just open the drain and rinse everything out in there. Either way, I think it's going to work fine. But yeah, I got, you know, I was thinking about bolting these things on here, but they're, I don't know, there really weren't a lot of good places to bolt. So I put as many stainless steel screws in as I thought I would need to hold, you know, 1,000 pounds or whatever in here. And then I went through and I put these big 5/16 inch stainless lags in. And there's 2, 4, 6 of those in here, in addition to all the regular screws. 7, one here as well. But I wanted to leave this open. This is going to be open here, and around the sides there it's going to all be open. so we got ventilation. I'm going to put some ventilation up in here, and I think I'll probably have an intake on one side and exhaust on the other side. So I'll have an exhaust fan drawing air out of here. So I'll probably put a gooseneck or something up here, and then have it come down lower, so that it draws, our fresh air comes in down here and it gets drawn up and out. And I'll probably put like a solar mushroom vent or whatever up there. Now I still got to debate whether if I put a Samson post in here. I looked at some other boats and people that do this, and of course most production boats don't have that type of Samson post in, where you got an 8x8 beam that goes all the way down to the keel. Now if I was going to put one in, it would kind of almost have to be back here behind this deck beam here, and then go all the way down through the floor here, the sole here, and down to the keel, which I could do, but then I don't know how much room I want for my windlass up here. I don't really think it matters that much. That windlass, or the bow roller, is going to extend out past the bow somewhat to get the anchor clear of the bow. So I think the windlass could go just right here forward of this, and then have a spurling pipe dropping straight down to the bucket here. Probably won't even need a spurling pipe. It'll probably just drop straight down. But I think that's a decent compromise. It keeps the weight relatively low. I mean, it's above the water line, but it'd be nice if it was a little lower. And we'll have to see how the stability on the boat works out too. It may be that I want more weight up top anyway. I don't know. But we'll see about that. It has to be determined once the boat's in the water. But I think this is adequately strong for the job at hand. And I've got a bunch more wiring stuff in now. And today is Monday, and I think by Wednesday I should have everything I need to get my wiring done. And I got 3 coats of paint on this wall back here, because that's where I'm going to mount most of my wiring stuff. These here are circuit breakers for the solar coming in. These are a couple of high voltage bus bars. This is a 400 amp T-class fuse. This will go on the main line coming off the batteries. So it'll give protection for everything downstream that comes off the batteries. And I think I'm going to probably put a 300 amp fuse in on the inverter too. I got a bunch of those A&L fuses and holders ordered too. They should, like I said, they'll be in the next couple days. But that'll give me the ability to fuse everything. Better safe than sorry. And I've got 3 of these. 2 of them will be, one will be used on the battery bank in here. One will be a shutoff for the start battery, and then one will be a shutoff for the power inverter. And this whole wall is going to be, wiring and boxes and whatnot. But that's fine, you know what? That's fine. That's a good place for it. It's out of the way. Nobody's going to be randomly wandering around back there. So I think that should work pretty well. And like I said, we'll see how this fridge does power consumption wise. But yeah, I guess that's it for today, and I will get back at it again.